Hello. Welcome to Advanced Vedic Mathematics course, Panini Ashtadhayayi Sthapatya. In this lesson 15, we shall be focusing upon number value 15 itself. This is to impress upon us that the whole process is a Sankhya Yoga process. This Sankhya Yoga means numbers to be taken to geometric formats, and also this means that geometric formats are taken back to the numbers. The formulation Sankhya is leading us to TC value 20, while Yoga takes us to the value 12, together as 32 are taking us to the external devas of which are of the format of hypercube 4, as its boundary is solid but is of 8 components. A raised to power 4 is to 8, b raised to power 3, and 8 multiplied by 4 are the 32 coordinates which are required for fixation of the external boundary. And then 32 as such is parallel with 8 chapters, each chapter of 4 padas, making a scripture of Ashtadhayayi as of 32 chapters or 32 books, or we can say units. See now, when we are at 32, then one of its organization is 15 and 17. Another is at 13 and 19. But when we are at 13, we say it is sun, vrit. Means 13 plus 20 means 33. Means that we are having a step ahead of 32. 32 takes to 33. Or in other words, the 32 are the gaps. So for range 1 to 33, the gaps are 32. And number 33 as such is a number which just takes us to the northeast diagonal, Ishan cone. And further we know that 33 also gives us split as 15 and 18. And this 18 is Prakriti and 15 is Pratyaya. So it is Prakriti and Pratyaya which is to be seen, to be observed, to be followed. Now numbers 1 to 15 as such means 15 multiplied by 8, it is 120. And this number 120 takes us to that when we are having a set in which there are numbers 3 and 5 also others, then operation will give us a value 8, and the multiplication operation will give us value 15, and both together with addition will give us 23, while with the multiplication it will give us 120. It is this 120 which deserves to be appreciated, that it is nothing but we are having a 6 space which is having transcendental boundary of 12 components. A raised to power 6 is to 12 b raised to power 5, and 5 space itself is having creative boundary of 10 components. So a raised to power 5 is equal to 10 b raised to power 4. This together gives us 120 creative boundary components, 4 space components. So we have 120 components, and this now see, if we are having 5 space, then its origin is 6 space, while its boundary is 4 space. This format as it is takes us to that if we are at 4 space as a domain and in the role of a dimension, so it is creative dimension, 4 space as dimension. It will take us to 5 space boundary. It is called a Brahma multiplying as 10 Brahmas. So when Brahma is multiplying as 10 Brahmas, so it is 1, Brahma is 1, say 0, 1. Reaching here would mean 10. And then when it proceeds ahead, it goes in the role of a dimension of 6 space, and ahead it takes us to 7 space, where it has, because of the creative order, both sides. It is this way that we see that the basic format of chase comes to be a 5 space, and at its boundary, a creative boundary, there are 10 components. And the creative boundary itself is of a spatial order. And as it is a spatial order, so within the spatial order, there happens a reversal of an orientation. While along a line, we can have a progression linear, but there is no reversal. For reversal, we have to reach at the space, and also we know that it is within a plane. There can be interval and plane both. So it is here that where in the plane we can have the progression as well as reversal of the progression. It is this feature which is called a Kram Samapti. Kram means progression, Samapti means end reach. The end reach of linear progression, and Kram is of value 13, and here it is a value 26. And 13 takes us to the first sutra, A, I, Uvana. The first Maheshwara Sutra is 13. That means it takes us to within a creator's space. It is within creator's space that 12-edged cube is having 13th edge. And it is this 13th edge which coordinates or takes up till it gives a reach to a transcendental origin. And it is this transcendental origin which is of a solid order. So value 15 is here. 13 plus 15 is 28, and it is Brahm. and 15 is Vavrat. 13 is Sanvarat. So from Sanvarat to Vavrat, it is the whole reach. And you know, when we say Sanvarat and when we say Vavrat, then it is this 13 to 15. And we have seen there's a reversal also. So if you Ashtadhayayi, we are reaching up till the end and then reverting back. Here is O, and here is Vriddhi Adech. And this range is of 3961. Total are 4000. 39 is the Meshwara format. Step ahead, it will be 40, and it will take us to the creative boundary of 10 components, which is taking us 10 into 4 is 40. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with the sthapatya of the Ashtadhayayi of Panini have to be through all these features. So there will be 9 vowels, but they are called swaras, and swara is having TC value 15, and 15 into 9 gives us 135, and this would mean that 5, 30 and 100. If we put them properly, it would be 100, it will be 30, and it will be 5. So along a diagonal, there is going to be a two-way reach for a 5 space, a linear dimension taking us to the triples and then taking us to the 5. It is this reach within the 5 space which is the reach of the 9 vowels. So when we have to begin with the first vowel, that is O, it becomes O. So 1 is 1 means anything from 0 to 1, wherever we may reach, it will be a line having smaller lines. So anything greater than 0 and less than or equal to 1, or here also can be less than 0 to 1, it becomes a 1. It is this feature, it is this value which is at work. Let us revisit. Today we are starting with the number value 15. First thing, we are approaching it as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means from numbers to geometric formats and geometric formats to numbers. Sankhya is giving us a TC value 20, Yoga gives us 20. Together this becomes 32. This 32 takes us to the Devatas. The external Devatas are 34, as A raised to power 4 is to 8, A3 is 8 into 4. This 32 is parallel with the organization of Ashtadhayayi as of 8 chapters and 4 parts of each chapter, making a 32. Once we are here, then we are reaching at that how we can have the split for 32. So split for 32 could be 1 and 31, 2 and 30, and so on, 15 and 17, and here 0 and 32, and here could be 16 and 16. It is 2 raised per 4. It is again is a 2 raised per 4. This will take us to the dimensional frame of 4 space, which has a pair of orientations. It is here when we will be appreciating this all, then out of that, one feature is this, another feature is like others are also there. And these two features take us to Sanvarit, as there are 32 gaps of 33. It is here which becomes that way the eighth feature. Then reaching here, then it takes us to this ninth feature of a gaps. Then this 33 takes us to 10th feature that we are along a directional frame along the Shan cone. And this 33 gives us this split 15 into 18. This is the 11th feature. It takes us to Prakriti and this Prastha is next feature. Once we are here, then we see that this feature as it is takes us to this feature. This is 13. 1 to 15 gives us value 120. It takes us to this feature, which is a 14 feature. And from here we reach this feature. A beautiful feature is here. Then we had started seeing as that we reach here at the 15th feature. This feature says that we are having this 120. How it is 120? This is this split 17. Here is a 16. From here we have reached as to how we are reaching at this 19th feature. Then ultimately we have reached at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. These features are essential features. These are initial features. These are format features which deserve to be updated in one's TCB dictionary as well as in this Sthapatya referencer. Once we will be updating our TCB dictionary and Sthapatya referencer, then naturally we will be blissfully intensifying satisfaction for our urge to be parallel with the Vedic systems. So it is this urge to be parallel with Vedic format, Vedic order, Vedic way of approaching the beginning with the source Vedanga, Vyakaran Vedanga, Patanjal Ashtadhayayi, taking us to the Vedas. So reaching from the Ashtadhayayi to Veda is a process, is a format, is a method, is a mathematics, is a science, is a technology, is a system. This we have to learn. This we have to imbibe. It is by imbibing this we shall be having bliss of satisfaction of our urge to be parallel with Vedic systems. And it is here where is the beginning. And ultimately we'll say it is here where is going to be the end. So beginning and end are to be at the same ment. And that means we have to start with Devanagari alphabet, reach up till the settlement of the format of Devanagari alphabet. We have to start with Maheshwara Sutras. We have to reach back to Maheshwara Sutras. We have to start with Maheshwara Pratyaharas. We have to reach back at Maheshwara Pratyaharas. We have to be parallel with this organization as that The Ved is a Vrit. So when we start linearly, that makes a Vyas, that is a diameter, and we reach at the Vrit, that is, we reach at the circumference. And how to dispense with the curvature or how to dispense with the pi as such will be the first requirement, and in fact it will be going to be the attainment. It is this attainment which will take us to simultaneously approaching domain and boundary, and this ratio a raised to power n and 2n b raised to power n minus 1 in the context of starting with interval, square, sphere, and so on, it will tell us that how 2 pi r and pi r square